So welcome to the home CSP bench. In this video I'm going to be introducing the new DarkStar dual axis radio controlled solar tracker with remote sensor and going over its basic features here. I've got one of the boards out of the enclosure just for help the demo. Here's the enclosure it normally comes in. Got grommets for all the wires going in and out. So this one I've got hooked up to one motor. It's just got two wires, and the second motor is this actuator here. You can see the first one just in the corner here. You'll be able to see this wheel turn when that comes on. So the second one, the actuator, I've got the pulse sensor connected up. So ideally you'd have pulse sensors on both, but I just kind of want to demonstrate how you can, the DarkStar lets you mix and match it up, and it detects the pulse signal on startup. So we'll have the smart park functionality with the actuator arm, but we won't have that with the motor here that doesn't have the pulse signal on it. So here's the external sensor. It's got the dome on it. I've got this one loose. This gets sealed down with some silicone sealant. You can see the 4 pairs of LEDs there. A shatter device to help with sensitivity a bit, and helps a lot with all the lights I've got here for the photography. So I'm just going to go ahead and leave that dome off, just so hopefully you can see that just a little bit better. You can see the shadow on there. So I'll move this lamp around here when we get going to simulate the movement here. So this direction is east, that's the west, this is the north, that's the south sensor. So this is set up as our elevation, so I want to make sure the extension is typically going towards the south direction. So I've set up the I've got it set up here. It should start running, the first motor will run in east and the second motor will run in south when we eventually start things up here. So before I do that though, let's just go over features on the board here. This is the power input over here. I've got a 24 volt DC supply. We've got a 10 amp fuse, help protect everything. There's a blocking diode here in case you hook up the power backwards. That'll keep anything from getting damaged. This RJ45 connector, this is what's going to our external sensor, this Cat5 cable. And you can see the grommet already installed on the wire there for attaching to the enclosure. And right here I've got some wires to simulate the an anemometer for a wind trigger. We'll get to that a little bit later. This module right here is the radio frequency receiver for the remote control. I almost forgot to mention the east inhibit feature. It's located right next to the wind sensor input. Little jumper right there, so if we move that, rotate it 90, put it back on, so it's on both those pins, that will inhibit east tracking during normal tracking operations. I've got the RC receiver module removed from that little 4-pin header there, so you can see that a little bit easier under this angle here. This is the remote control. Right now it's just got 8 labels on it. I've made up 2 more functions for the wind sensor using the buttons 9 and 10, so future versions here I'll have those labeled as well. This just comes as a generic remote. I peel this label off and actually etching up these, using a laser to etch up these replacement labels for it. I glue on that with some contact cement. So anyway, so we'll there's a button right here which we use for programming the codes sent by the remote control. Conceivably, you could use a different remote control if you had any multi-channel 315 megahertz frequency remote control. So, and then of course here are our terminal strips for the motor outputs and pulse inputs, and over here is a button that we use for part configuration. And all these big transistors here, these are the dual H-bridge motor drivers for controlling our motors. So that's the basic overview here. Now I'm gonna go ahead and turn the power on, and we can observe the startup behavior. So first the LEDs flash. Now this motor will run both directions. It should be a west and then an east. Likewise, this goes out and then back in south. And now it's, because this has pulse, it's fully retracting. To reset the actuator, and now in about 10 seconds or so we'll have the first tracking update. So first this motor will run. I'm going to swing the light here over towards the west, and I had to go a little far because of all the lights. Now I'm going to move this way, and I got centered up, and that stopped the second axis there. So typically in another 3 minutes, next tracking interval would happen, and we'd get the next movement update. So this solid green indicator shows that we're in automatic tracking mode.